The other thing that's also being mentioned now is related to prison in Norway. Have you been reading about this, Lewis?
Oh, yeah, this is crazy.
So this is the long and short of it is that the prison system in Norway is very, very different. Whereas where in the U.S. we have something like, the numbers are, it's a tenfold difference. The incarceration rate in Norway is 70 per, and I apologize, I don't remember if it's 70 per 10,000 or 70 per 100,000, but whichever one it is, in the U.S. it's about 750. So we see that in the U.S., which by the way has the highest incarceration rate in the world, we have a tenfold higher incarceration rate than in Norway. Now, the other difference in Norway is that the prisons themselves are very different. And many conservatives are very, very angry about the prisons in Norway. And we're putting up some of those pictures because the prisons in Norway do include many more, I guess for lack of a better term, amenities is the word that we're looking to use. But most notably, there is a maximum sentence in Norway of 21 years with the possibility of adding on 5-year increments for particularly egregious crimes or additional crimes that have been committed. So instantly conservatives going nuts saying this guy kills 60-something people or whatever the most recent death toll is.
Is that a mini fridge?
Oh, yeah. They've got everything there, Lewis. They really do. So we see now conservatives complaining this guy won't possibly serve the amount of jail time that would be appropriate. There is no death penalty in Norway. And I don't know that that's true. I really don't. Because if we think about these 5-year increments, which there is some discretion about how these additional 5-year sentences and above and beyond the 21-year maximum can be administered, if we say this guy's going to get an extra couple of years for each person he killed, we're talking about a life sentence here. We really are. So to jump to the conclusion now that this is an individual that is not going to serve time, I think it's a little bit too soon to say that.
I think it's still reasonable to be upset that that's the place where he'll be spending his time.
Certainly. I mean, it's better than many middle-class apartments.
Yeah.
For sure. And certainly many more amenities. But the point here is, I think, that it's very unfair to go in there and to start, on the one hand, exculpating the groups which this individual belongs to, but at the same time being completely critical of a foreign country's system, which, again, we're not all that familiar with it. Everybody's reading now. Everybody's researching now about the Norwegian crime, jail, and prison system. But to go in there and to claim to know so much about Christians and to say no one who believes in Jesus could ever do what this guy did, so this guy's not a Christian. But by the way, I'm a complete expert on the Norwegian prison system and can tell you everything that's wrong with it and how it should be changed. It's very pompous and presumptuous, is it not?
No doubt, yeah.
But you don't seem too bothered with it.
I might be bothered by it, but what am I going to do about it?
The other interesting story I got sent...
I mean, I wish... Maybe this is a bad thing to say. Had there been Americans that were killed in these attacks, perhaps there would have been, what's the word I'm looking for? Repercussions or American, he would have been tried here, perhaps too.
No. If in Norway a couple of Americans were in those that were killed,
you don't think that he could have been sentenced in America as well?
No, of course not.
No?
Absolutely not. No. There would be no reason for that. There would be no legal backing for that. What is true, though, is that if there were a couple of Americans killed in that incident, then certainly we could assume that what we're seeing now, the scale of what we're seeing now from conservative media, would be escalated tenfold, 100-fold. I can't even imagine. They would be calling for this guy's head already.
Yeah.
Not that it would be completely undeserved. I mean, again, this is a sick guy. My curiosity is, will a defensive insanity hold up here? Because his lawyer has already started planting seeds that this is a guy who's nuts. And again, I know we talk about this all the time. Wouldn't anybody who's capable of killing over 60 people qualify as mentally deranged?
Yeah, you open that door and suddenly people are just not responsible for their actions.